Each and every Wednesday, we are privileged to welcome in UC Davis head basketball coach, ex and always Sacramento King, Jim Less. Coach, it's Dave, it's Jason. Good morning, sir.
You guys need to up your privilege game.
Hey, you know what? We were just ranked number 18 nationally in mid-market morning sports radio shows. So you're right. I think we need to step it up for number 18. That's a big deal.
Well, congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. How are you, Coach? Couple of not just losses, but, man, close losses, too. My goodness.
Yeah, as exhilarating as the close wins are, those close losses are tough. And so the bye week, because we don't play this Thursday, because we're usually Thursday, Saturday, came at the right time. So we had to give guys a couple days off and kind of get away and refresh, recharge for the stretch run here, because it's, as I told the guys yesterday at our workout, it's how you finish, and you remember that as how you finish. And we have an opportunity to go on the road to Hawaii, and we got two of the top teams coming to our place the following week, gain some momentum heading into the tournament, and try and win 3 games in 3 days.
Coach, I'm thinking about that because I could just hear it in your voice, the frustration of losing those close games. You always think about, okay, what could we have done? How could I have done something different? What could the players have done? But, they're probably looking at you as, one of the leaders of the team, obviously the voice of the team. Who helps you with these? It's tough on you. You're a competitor. You want to win every game. How do you kind of get through these?
Well, I'm blessed. I got a great coaching staff. So, having those confidants and then, my wife, who's been a coach's wife now for 23 years, she usually can put it in pretty good perspective as she sits in the stands or we're on the drive home. And so she keeps me centered, and I need that.
Coach, I want to also, we'll as everyone knows, we'll kind of zigzag in and out of whether it's UC Davis basketball or basketball in general. And there's been something on my mind when it comes to the Kings for a while now, and I want to run it by you as not just a coach, but an ex-player. And it comes to the roster makeup of the Kings. I never ask you to comment directly on them. I just want to ask you philosophically. I worry about their lack of defenders and their lack of the ability to defend. They're also coached by a guy in Doug Christie, who was really the only defensive player on a team in 2002 for Sacramento that led the league in opposition field goal percentage. So for my question for you as a coach, how much of team defense is individual defensive, talent and scheme and effort?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. I think you have to have and you have to seek out guys who are invested on that end of the floor, that it's important to them, that they take pride in it. Keanu Ellis is a guy, and I don't get to watch as much as I would like during our season, but when I've watched him, whether it's in person or just watching the game on TV, and sometimes I just focus just on him and his, dedication, energy, enthusiasm on that end of the floor is contagious, but you can't get it done with just one guy.
Right. So, go ahead.
Yeah, well, so I was going to follow up with that. Then for you as a coach at any level, NBA, WNBA, college, high school, Coach, if you had an elite, we're talking elite on-ball defender versus an elite rim protector, what do you think nets the better results for a defense? Is someone that could protect that paint or someone that could guard anybody on the perimeter?
Well, I do think it's both. In the NBA now, the best teams, the winning teams, have a rim protector. Because everybody's trying to take away the three, and so you're sending guys to the rim, and you have to have somebody there who can adjust shots and make it difficult for teams to get to the rim. But it can't be an onslaught. It can't be where guys are just walking around everybody. And I do think it speaks to the front office and the coaching staff being locked in with each other. And you talked about Doug's personality. You know, he's a defensive guy. He demands effort and attention on that end of the floor. So, and I know he's an interim coach, but it has to flow in terms of, hey, we want to try and give him the guys that he's going to be able to be successful with.
So I want to make sure I'm understanding you right, because you're teaching right now. You can improve. Am I understanding that you can improve the defense around the edges through effort, coaching, and scheme, but ultimately you have to have the players that need to execute those schemes?
Yeah, no question.
Okay.
I mean, you have to decide what you're going to, are we going to be an offensive team and we're going to try and outscore people, or are we going to be a defensive team that can score? And those are two vastly different philosophies. And I think sometimes if you get caught in the middle and maybe not enough firepower to show up and we can outscore you. We're going to get 150 tonight and we're going to win the game. And that's who we're going to beat. The Phoenix Suns did that for a lot of years and pretty successful. It doesn't necessarily win a championship, but pretty successful, kind of fun to watch. And then, there have been other teams. I think about, the Spurs and the Knicks, the Heat, their championship teams. Those were defensive teams that could score the ball, and they can beat you in the 80s.
Talk with UC Davis basketball coach Jim Les. Coach, you mentioned not having a game Thursday, which is a little benefit for where you guys are now, but you do head to Hawaii for this weekend. Obviously, you're there to try.
You guys said you were going, right? We need the expanded radio telecast in Hawaii.
There's a room, right? Coach, you have room for us?
Oh, let's go.
Do you have room for our golf clubs? That's the question.
You guys can bring your clubs. I will be busy watching.
Locked in. Yeah. Well, on that trip, honestly, Coach, do you get to, look, you guys are there trying to build that momentum like you talked about, but any chance to get the group to have a little fun? That you guys do make the yearly trip, but it's still pretty special to go to Hawaii.
No, it is. And we have some guys that, new players on our team this year that have never been. So it's kind of fun and exciting to see them and watch them experience it. So we try, it's a long trip. So usually on Friday, and, we'll leave Friday morning and we'll get there early afternoon with the time change, like around noon or 1 o'clock. And, we generally on that day do not practice, which is kind of odd the day before a game, but we've had pretty good success of one of the things we do is we go to the beach and do like a mobility workout, kind of refresh the legs, get the blood flowing after the long flight, and then, go have a nice dinner. Saturday's a usual game day with a good shoot around and the game at night. And then we generally leave later on Sunday. So afternoon, where the guys can have the morning till about 1, 2 o'clock, where they can get to the beach, they can paddleboard, they can go on a hike, they can do some things to experience the island. So it's a quick trip. I want to be conscious of, hey, this is a business trip and there's a task at hand, but we also want the guys to be able to enjoy this experience.
And it's got to be, as you kind of mentioned, that's a hell of a tightrope to walk for you between, hey, a lot of these guys have never been to Hawaii before and they're kids and you want them to have fun. Also, we're here to play basketball, not to go to a luau.
Yeah, and part of that is the communication. And,
right.
You guys talked about as the leader, whether you're going through a tough time in the season or you're talking about your defensive schemes. You want at some point the guys to be able to start to take on your personality. And I think one of the things that I've learned as a coach is being conscious of that it can't always be 24/7. You're on and you're grinding because I think you wear the guys down. And it's such a long season. The basketball season is so long that I've done a better job. And again, with my assistants and my wife coaching me is to have that time where, hey, this is fun and interactive, and we're enjoying each other's company, and we're away from basketball, not talking about basketball, but then can shift when we get between the lines. Okay, hey, we had a nice trip, we had a nice stretch on the beach, but that shoot around on Saturday morning is going to be business-like, and I want you to be able to transfer that mindset from laid back and relaxed to, hey, let's get to work and let's get ready to try and win a basketball game.
Last thing for you, and feel free to keep this in house. I don't know if this is like a private thing or not. I'm just curious. Do you do bed checks, Coach, when you're on the road?
Well, again, it's no problem for me because I've been going to bed a lot earlier, up a lot earlier as I'm getting older. So thank goodness I've got assistants who are younger that can stay up later than I can. So they usually handle those duties.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Well, we won't bed check you guys. We won't put you on the list.
Yes, good.
Explore a little bit.
Jason and I, huge partiers,
just crazy,
just
guys.
clubbing it up in Honolulu. So, Coach, enjoy yourself. We'll see you guys on the charter, and bring back a big W. You deserve it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
That's Coach Jim West.
We got the invite.
We did get the invite.